Hello, everyone. This is Still Rose's podcast. This podcast was created for women by women to elevate women's voices. I hope everyone is having a wonderful August. Countdown in my house has started to the first day of school. I'm waiting for all the letters to come so I can get my kids' assignments in their classrooms and all that. I know school has started for quite a few states already. In New Jersey, we haven't started yet, not in my area anyway. And so we wait with bated breath for everything to start happening again. I made the executive decision this year to not have any of my kids enrolled in sports or extracurricular activities in the fall. This might sound like not that big of a deal to everybody listening right now, but for me, this is a huge deal. Up until this point, I have very much been the mom who's like, let me enroll my kids in as many activities as possible because I want them to be well-rounded individuals and I want them to try a lot of things because then they're figuring out what they like. This is the logic that I've been using. And then, and you definitely heard me complain about this, and then the realization would hit me that, oh, wait, I've signed my kids up for activities that occur every single day of the week, and in some instances, overlapping days, meaning like there's 2 or 3 activities happening on one day. This was kind of a nightmare last year for me in the spring. The twins were each enrolled in 2 activities each. My son kind of backed off. He's not into sports at all, so he was very much like, I don't really care. I don't need to be in anything. He's more of a laid back young man, if you will, which in this instance, I was like, no problem. I'm not going to push. I'm already overloaded. And then, I got busy at work and things were like hectic. And it really started to bother me that we were so busy all the time. I know some people really relish that. I know a lot of moms that are like into it. They seem like they really like it, like that it's like a stamp of achievement. Like, I'm really busy all the time. I'm running around all the time. I don't want that stamp of achievement. And the other thing I also wanted to note, and this is a downfall on my side, was emphasizing being enrolled in all these activities so much that we weren't actually doing homework or anything. Now, the kids were younger and the teachers didn't assign homework for the classes that they had. So it wasn't too big of a deal. But it still was because, the days that we were like double timing it with different activities and this, that, the next thing, I'm not practicing reading with them. I'm not practicing their math problems. Like I'm not leaning into their education. And this summer it really hit me and I started thinking more and more about it. I'm like, I want them to be able to come home from school, sit down and do homework and eat dinner, like in this order. I want this normalcy and less hectic. So I just decided nobody's going to do anything. Perhaps I might put them in some kind of music Saturday class thing, but I don't think so. And honestly, I'm super excited about it. Like to be able to just focus on being a family and this lower pace and really digging into school and seeing what we can do to really help them excel. And that's what I want my main focus to be. Now, if all goes well in the fall and I can put them all in activities in spring, I'm going to do it. But it really just hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to sign them up for anything. I'm going to save some money. I'm going to save my sanity. I'm going to focus on their education. And I'm not going to enroll them in a bunch of activities. I don't need to. The other part of this that I started thinking about was, guys, listening to this, raise your hand if you're an 80s baby. Did you have activities every night of the week? I sure as heck didn't. My parents enrolled me in like one dance class once, and they told me that like I complained every single day, which, sounds about right. I did that once. I think I did soccer one year once for the town. And then I did school sports when I got older. But at that point, I was already doing my own homework, and it wasn't like a big deal. It didn't really affect me. And I'm a well-rounded individual. So, I started thinking about it. I'm like, I turned out okay, and I wasn't at activities, every single day of the week. Like, we don't need to do that. And now that I'm talking about this out loud, I feel like we put so much pressure on our kids today to be these like overachievers in all these categories because they have to shine. They have to excel. They have to get into the right preschool to get to the right grammar school, to get to the right high school, to get to the best college, if you want to go that path. I'm not really pushing my kids through that path at all. I want them to be educated and well-rounded, but not in the traditional sense of the terms. Now, I went to college. I know a lot of people that went to college. I'm one of the very few people that actually uses my degree. There's a lot of people out there in my generation that went to college because that's just what you did. That's what we were told you were supposed to do. That was the quote unquote key to successful, being a success and having money was go to college. Pop that bubble because so many of us have hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt that we're like drowning under. And, they keep waving the carrot that student loan debt is going to go away. We're stuck with this until we die, basically. And it sucks if you didn't use your degree. Like, good Lord. I mean, imagine that. Thank God I actually got a degree in something that I happen to like, which is communications. But like a lot of people didn't do that because really think about this. When you graduate from high school, you're 17, 18 years old, and you're picking a major that you're supposed to do for the rest of your life. Who the hell? I just rediscovered myself at 38. Like, how are you supposed to know what you want to do when you're 17 or 18? When I originally started college, I was a psychology major, and I wanted to go into psychology, and I wanted to be a psychologist, and I wanted to help people in that sense of the term. And then eventually I switched to communications because to be perfectly transparent here, it came really easily to me. Communications was something that always came super easy to me. And I was like, let me just lean in here. Like, why am I beating a dead horse? Like, I could just lean in here and this would make me some money at some point. So, I picked the path that I picked and I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. But there's a lot of people that, like, have master's degrees and they're not doing anything with it. So, I know I went on a bit of a rant here, but, like, we put so much pressure on our kids today to like that they need to be doing all these like amazing things at like 5 years old. My God, like what happened to just being kids and like letting them find their path and guiding them gently and making sure that they're okay and that they have all the information that they need to make the best, best educated decisions that they can make. It's not a race. This is not a race to a finish. This is just living your life every single day. So the more that we can like pull back a little bit for our children and show them the way that it's not a race, like we just have to live every day to the best of our ability and do the things that we love the most because that's really where your success is going to lie. That's really the key message we should be delivering to our kids, not that they have to do, world-class sports or they need to do this or you need to be in the Olympics or you need to be getting straight A's every single, and you don't need to do any of it. You have to do what feels right for your soul and what feeds you. This is not, by the way, at all what I had planned on talking to you guys about, but this is sort of where I landed. And it kind of came tumbling out as I started the episode. So I wanted to go with it because that means that somebody listening needed to hear this today. So I've scaled back entirely. Completely scaled back, and I am actually super excited about it. I hope that someone listening is hearing this and saying, you know what, I'm going to make a choice here, and I'm going to choose X. You don't have to go crazy. You just don't. Pick a life that suits you to the best. Now, perhaps it suits you to be running around all over the place, and that's really like lights you up and you thrive on that. Do it then. I'm not saying don't do it at all. I'm just saying do what really lights you up. That was like soul sucking for me. I loved it because I liked to meet other parents. I loved socializing with everybody. But then at the end of the day, I was feeling like really drained and like I hadn't been serving my children the way that I need to be really showing up for them. So this is a personal decision for me, but I want to encourage all of you to make sure that you're making those decisions for yourself. Thank you for joining me on this episode. I greatly appreciate you. Follow me on social, please, because I'm going to be releasing the schedule of live streams that are going to be coming out. Some of them are 2 a day, so I want you to really be able to tap in. They're all going to get campaigned out to the podcast too, so don't worry if you miss the live stream, you're still going to be able to hear it, and you'll be able to watch it on my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a great week. Thank you for being here with me, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.